Hello, my friends. I hope you're having an outstanding, fabulous day. I am, because I woke up, but it's a sad day. I'm going to go out for a ride on the PUCKIPUPPY Husky Plus and talk about life and talk about some of my friends. I just got back a little while ago, 30 minutes or so, from the funeral home, saying goodbye to one of my favorite Greeks, somebody that I've known for a very long time, the family for a very long time, and it's very, very, very sad. And I'm going to tell you about him because really, him and his wife are the epitome of the American dream. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And while I was at the funeral home, I also ran into Senator Salling, State Senator Salling, who introduced that Senate Bill 14 for the e-bike insurance, title, and registration. And as I was leaving in the parking lot, I said to the senator, no more e-bike laws. And anyway, we had a discussion. I'm going to tell you what he told me. Let's go for a ride and talk about life and talk about my friend Costas. Yeah, we're just going to go nice and easy. I could take out the fast bike and go screaming along, but I'm not in a screaming along mood. I'm in a just contemplate life, pontificate, which, am I an expert on life and the meaning of life? No. Am I a preacher? I'm a preacher in that I preach to get out and live life, but otherwise I lack the ability to preach. But tomorrow is promised for no one. You never know what tomorrow holds. You never know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. And heck, that's a good reason to do a lot of different things. Obviously, good things. Everybody's out playing in the playground and walking, and we're just going to go chillaxing. I was at the funeral home in Dundalk for Costas. His wife, Mary, affectionately known as Miss Mary by everybody. They are the epitome of the American dream. Costas and Miss Mary came separately to America in the 1950s, mid-1950s. Miss Mary came on a ship, and Costas came by airplane, and they were both very young teenagers. And eventually they met, married, and started a family. And they have 3 incredible kids and tons of grandkids and great-grandkids. And their children are my friends too. Pete, Nick, oldest, Pete, middle, Christine, the youngest. And they started a family, and they started a restaurant, a very famous restaurant, a restaurant known throughout the world, actually. And in fact, Costas just passed away a few days ago. He has been recognized, his passing, in news publications all over the world because of his famousness, so to speak. His restaurant, Costas Inn. Family restaurant. World renowned. You have seen, or you may have seen, his magical crab cakes and his children on the Today Show, Kathy Lee and Hoda. Many times, many years. And who goes to the restaurant besides every average Marylander and people coming from out of state? Baltimore Ravens, Baltimore Orioles, famous actors, movie producers, directors, athletes from all different kind of sports and from all different teams, professional and amateur and college, from all over the country go to Costas restaurant. And why? Well, they have great food. They have world famous crab cakes. But they go because it's like family there. And when you go there, Costas, Miss Mary, and the children and the staff treat everybody like they are family. One reason why Costas is going to be mourned for years and years and years. One reason why the parking lot was overflowing, parking on the street. There was a line to the viewing. Why? Because Costas was loved by everyone. You could write a book about Costas and the family restaurant and all the great things that he did for the community, for his employees, for his family, for people he didn't even know. And besides world famous crab cakes, world famous restaurant where the rich and famous would come to hang out and for everybody to feel like family. As I said, the American dream. Come to America from Greece. Get your education, fall in love, married, family, and then a successful business that's going to be passed down for generations. And it was a freak accident that took Costas. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide poisoning. His vehicle pulled into the garage. He had a push-button vehicle. He pushed the button. It did not turn the vehicle off. He didn't know. Went inside. Filled the house up with carbon monoxide. Miss Mary, by the grace of God, survived. Costas went on to a better place. And that's why tomorrow is never promised. Costas worked in a restaurant up until he passed. 85 years old, and you would not know it because of his zest and lust for life. Getting ready to open up a second restaurant. After all these years, going to expand again to pass it down from generation to generation. And so, get out and live life, my friends. Get out, do something good for somebody, do something good for the world. Take care of yourself. So for me today, it's a great day to be alive, but it's a sad day to say goodbye to my friend, to a favorite Greek. And I told you, mud flat in there. My man built a bridge to another chunk that he owns. I don't even know how he got permission from the Army Corps of Engineers and the county to do that, other than it's not really boating water, so he probably got some kind of exemption. I told you that I was, as I was in the parking lot leaving the funeral home, I saw Senator Solling, State Senator Solling. He's the one that introduced Senate Bill 14. And I jokingly said, no more e-bike laws. And then we just struck up a quick conversation, and I told him that his chief of staff did an outstanding job responding to my question about why. And he told me that this is the reason why it was pulled. He told me that it was pulled because he just wanted people to have to get insurance on their bikes. Not the title, not the registration, just the not pay anything other than the insurance. And he told me that when the bill came back to him, it had the title registration in there along with the insurance. Now, I asked Senator Solling if he was an attorney, because he said, it's dangerous when these e-bikes are in the road. They ride right in the middle of the road. And I said to Senator Solling, yeah, that's the law in Maryland. If there's no bike lane, you can do that. Bicycles and e-bikes are considered regular bicycles. And he goes, I know, but it's still dangerous. And then he said to me, an e-biker hit my car and damaged my car, and I had to pay for it because they didn't have insurance. And that's why he introduced the bill. Now, it's okay to have your own personal issue, your own personal vendetta, so to speak. But that's why Senator Solling introduced the bill, because his car got hit by an e-biker and he had to file a claim. Now, what Senator Solling may or may not know, when that happens, the law of Maryland prevents your rates from going up. So if somebody, let's just make it general, somebody who doesn't have insurance damages your automobile, your insurance company takes care of the damage. In Maryland, the insured are not penalized. So, yes, Senator Solling's insurance company had to pay for the damage, but Senator Solling was not penalized for that. That's one point. The second point is, I said to Senator Solling, well, regular bikers don't need insurance and they can do damage too. He didn't have an answer for that. And then I also said, the burden will be on people who have limited means. And he's like, people over 21 have a license, they can get insurance. And so it all goes back to Senator Solling is ignorant. Now, I don't mean ignorant in a bad way, but I just mean ignorant of people in general, because a lot of people who ride e-bikes that only go 28 miles an hour, they have limited budgets. Why do you think budget bikes are so popular now? Limited means. People have limited means. They can't afford insurance. A lot of people ride e-bikes because they can't afford automobiles and the costs associated therewith. So Senator Solling, one, is out of touch. The other thing that Senator Solling should know, especially by introducing legislation into the... There's my friend Gary! Gary! You met him in the other video. There's Gary. He got his Jason bike for Christmas. Say hi to everybody, Gary.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be on the video.
Tell them all to smash the like and subscribe.
Oh, hit that button and like and subscribe to the channel.
Smash it. Bam, 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 bam. I don't even know what I was talking about when I saw Gary. So I was talking to Gary, and then my friend walked up with her puppy dog, and we were talking to her, and I was telling her about Costas. And yes, she's been there, and she's saying, it's the best crab cakes. It's the best crab cakes. He's such a nice person. He's such a nice person. Yes. So yeah, very sad. So Senator Solling, that's what I was talking about. Senator Solling. So Senator Solling is ignorant. One, he doesn't appreciate that, people, a lot of people ride e-bikes because of the money. They're trying to save money. They can't afford insurance. They can't afford a car. So that is a measurable population of the e-bike world, especially with the lower speed powered e-bikes, which is what this proposed legislation was going to target. The other thing is this. The way the government tracks if you have insurance for a motor vehicle is through registration, tag and title. Tag and title. You apply for your title and registration, and you have to prove insurance. So the only way the government would know if someone got insurance for their bike, other than pulling people over and asking for proof of insurance, is you have to provide proof of insurance when you get your title and registration. And that is cute puppy dog. That is Motor Vehicle Law 101. And so Senator Solling did not understand that, which is kind of troubling that, one, he put it out there, put the legislation together because he was hit by an uninsured e-biker and his own insurance company paid, or maybe he paid out of his own pocket. Regardless, it doesn't matter. That's his motivation for it. And he doesn't even understand the implications of his actions. He doesn't understand the implications of the legislation, how it could impact people of limited means, how it could hurt people of limited means, how it could basically make people of limited means outlaws because they can't afford insurance. That's one thing. And then again, the other thing is he doesn't understand how the government would prove that you have insurance, title, registration. So a lot of things going on there. I'm sure someone has pulled Senator Solling aside and said, Senator, this is why we added those things to the law. And then he'll have an epiphany and say, I didn't know that. And then maybe enough people this time will come out of the woodwork and say to Senator Solling, don't do that. Don't do that. Just because your car was damaged, that does not happen very often. That is not a big issue in the world of Maryland, uninsured bicyclists. That is not a big issue. I guarantee you have more damage from regular bicyclists than e-bikes. Why? Because there's more bicyclists on the road. And it's just an issue of numbers. The more bikes, the more likely, the more opportunity for mishap. So there's your update on Senate Bill 14 and Senator Solling, what I believe to be his motive for the legislation and his not understanding of how motor vehicles administration works. We are going to be headed home here in a little bit. We are going to have maybe 5 or 6 miles under our belt today. I'm not sure how this perspective is going to come out. I just adjusted the camera a little bit more, but I was not in a spend a lot of time prepping mood. I just was kind of in a funk after coming back from seeing my friend and his family, and I just wanted to get out, do a ride, live some life, and just talk to you all about life. And then that little update about Senator Solling. Look. Really, dude? He almost got my friend there. Young people. Those are the kind of people, actually I shouldn't say that because bad drivers come in all ages. But statistically, young drivers are the worst. Why? That's why the insurance rates are higher till you break 21. Then they drop a little bit, then 25, then they drop more. And then when you get to my age, they've pretty much dropped all that they're going to drop if you're a good driver. When you hit 60, your rates are pretty much as low as they're going to be. And then, heck, I bet you I'm near a pivoting point where the rates are going to start to go up because the older population has claims because they lose their skills. As Jack Reacher said, it is a perishable skill set. And that is 100% true. Shooting is a perishable skill set, as is driving a perishable skill set. And the more you practice both, the longer it will last. I love this little trail. This is my little Charlestown trail. Going through Charlestown, around the ball fields. Going through Charleston, not Charleston, Charlestown. Around the ball fields, yes, we're having fun, living some life today, all in the good old USA. We are gonna go home, get a glass of iced tea, non-alcoholic, and catch up on some of our friends' YouTube videos after we download this video. And I'm going to put in there some stuff. I'm going to try to, if I can figure out how to do it, about Costas, one of my favorite Greeks of all time. Boy, look at those big dogs. Those dogs are big. Yeah, you're walking a couple horses. Ah, Irish Wolfhound. Whoa, what a beautiful dog. Oh, I'm sorry, Pupper Dupper. Great Dane, Irish Wolfhound. I'm telling my YouTube subscribers.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen one in person.
Yeah, they're not that common. There's a few around, but they're not that common.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm gonna go, so I stop bothering them. You too. Beautiful, both of them. Beautiful puppy dogs, big puppy dogs. Mr. Great Dane did not like to be on YouTube. Mr. Irish Wolfhound is a star. Headed back to the ET hut. We have done 5.4 miles. Enough for a little bit of mental health boost after our sad day. Yes. I didn't even use any battery bars. That's pretty good. There she is. The PUCKIPUPPY Husky Plus. Dual battery, dual suspension, 500-pound capacity, 20-mile-an-hour trike. The suspension seat, smart. I have to put them on my other trikes. Thank you for being my friends. Thank you for being my subscribers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you Google Costas and Google Costas. Google Costas Triantopoulos. You will read about an incredible man. You will read about the epitome of the American dream. Get out and live life. Tomorrow is not promised. You never know what life holds. Now, am I telling you to go take all your life savings and go to the casino and bet it on black? No, black is beautiful, but don't do that. But I am telling you to get off your couch and get out. Walk. Ride a regular bike if you can ride a regular bike. Ride an e-bike if you can't ride a regular bike. Ride an e-trike if you can't ride an e-bike. But get out and do something and move your body. Exercise your brain, exercise your body. All right, my friends, I love you all. See ya!